Let's talk a little bit about surrender and what we mean with surrender and what its importance is. So, first of all, a little bit about techniques. So, all techniques, in my personal opinion, are meant to get you somewhere. But in the end, all techniques are a little bit unnatural because you don't need anything. You are perfect. You are God. You're everything. You're lovely presence. You are awareness. You are infinite consciousness. You are infinite being. So you don't need a technique. But we find ourselves often at the beginning of our spiritual path, or in general, as recovering mindaholics, as recovering workaholics, as recovering societyaholics, as people that are naturally not aligned with what is, that are not going with their natural flow, with their natural rhythm, that do not feel at home in their body. So sometimes we need a technique which is again a little bit unnatural, but it's a lot less unnatural than how most people live or how most people's experience of themselves is. So using a technique can help you to improve your experience, and that's what we want. And surrender is a beautiful technique, which I think is extremely helpful. One of my teachers told me that from doing to being is the most essential thing. And doing is we do all the time. We are forcefully doing. We're doing from the mind. We're forcing the body to do something. That's doing. Being is letting be, is relaxing into this, is allowing movements from our natural flow, from our natural rhythm, and aligning with that. Because we're giving up this forcefulness, we're automatically aligning with that which is natural. So, if we want to go to being, then one of the best ways to go there is to surrender. And how do we surrender? Well, what we do is actually not so much. What we not do is more important, because this technique is about what we not do. What we don't do is we don't force ourselves to do anything from the mind. We let go of outcome, of needing to do anything right now. And not the direct outcome. We can still have certain goals in life, right? That's fine. But we're not going around and forcing ourselves to do anything. We're just letting it naturally arise. And this is a way that you can live your life, believe it or not. This is a way where if your children say something, you're naturally inclined to respond, to make a sandwich, if hunger arises, you're naturally inclined to go to the fridge or go to a local restaurant. So it's not that nothing happens anymore. It's not doing nothing, but it's letting things arise, letting movement naturally arise. Through that, we find out what our natural rhythm is, what our natural flow is, what our natural movement is. And that's not that we then take it to the mind and say, I'm a morning person and I should do this and that in the morning because that happens to me when I surrender. No, it's fresh in every moment. But you'll notice some tendencies. You'll notice some basic ways of being. You'll notice that. And you'll notice some habits, some which maybe are not constructive, but you're allowing them. Some maybe that are very nice and constructive, and you're allowing them. And these unconstructive habits, if there's resistance on those habits, the resistance can fall away a little bit with surrender. And some of these habits, if there's no resistance, there is no habit. So in this way, I have found myself stopping drinking, smoking, starting to exercise, things like that. And it's not that's really important. It's not about the habits at all. It's about the widening of our aperture. It's about the widening of our consciousness. It's about the living from this deeper place in the world. And you'll notice it because it will be so much more freeing. It will give you so much more energy. So, what to do if a thought comes up? Well, you just let the thought be. If a thought says you should do this, that's okay. That doesn't mean you force yourself to do it right now. That is our autopilot. We've trained ourselves to, when something mentally comes up, to force ourselves to do it. Why do you think your mind has it all figured out? Let me tell you a secret, my friend. Your mind has not figured it out. It cannot figure out the future. It can only live from the past, in a way. And of course, if you go deeper, you notice that your thoughts can translate energy, which feels like this is related to the future, or this is something which is a more intuitive movement, which is formulated into thoughts. But then again, you don't have to force it. You can just allow it to unfold naturally. Right now, I have very little thoughts because it's not really necessary for me to do anything with thoughts. So thoughts, yes, I have thoughts, of course, and it's mostly functional thoughts. But do I need thoughts? No, because a movement, like grabbing a glass, is not a thought. I don't need a thought to grab a glass. It's kind of like a natural impulse comes up. And I don't have to think about that impulse. It's like thought is often like the middleman. We don't need the middleman because it's just distorting often. And it's also distorting the habits or things that want to fall away naturally. And when you surrender, you start to immediately feel less resistant. You start to immediately feel a little bit fresher. You start to immediately feel meditative off the cushion. You start to immediately feel freer. If you want to find out what's my purpose in this life, just surrender. Find out. It will naturally happen. What do I want? Just surrender. It will figure itself out. What's my natural movement? What's my natural flow? What is natural for me? Who am I? Just surrender. You'll find out all those questions. Because when you surrender, what happens is that your resistance will come up. It will want you. It will throw everything at you to get you to force yourself to do something. Which is an ego cleansing movement. Yes, but this is important. I need to feed my family. Do you need to feed your family? Or do you want to feed your family? Maybe you have a partner that could also feed your family. Maybe your family doesn't need as much food as it currently has. And this is a quite extreme example, of course, about feeding your family. It's not about that, of course. But this is what the mind comes up. What if I give up thought? If I don't force myself, I'll die. I'll not eat, I'll die. Then I won't do what I want. That's just a thought. Is that true? Find out for yourself. Try it. It's not true. You'll eat with less resistance. You'll go to work with less resistance. You find a profession which fits you naturally. Just relax. Don't believe those crazy thoughts that want to keep your mind identified. You can just rest here. Earth is good, even though we have some turmoil, which is now very transparent, right? So 40 years ago, let's say 100 years ago, we didn't see anything outside of our community almost. So yeah, of course we thought, conflicts, not so much. And now it's very transparent because of the internet. So we can think that the world is not safe, but of course some parts aren't. That's true. But safety is inherent in us because that which we are, cannot die. We're infinite being. So we are carried by life. Always. Trust your natural movements. Trust your natural instincts. Trust your natural intuition. And start to live from this deepest place. And that usually starts with first live from your feelings. Understand your feelings instead of your mind. Then maybe from your intuition, your deepest feelings. Then maybe from your energies. And then maybe we don't have to think about anything. We can just let go. We can surrender. We don't need a measurement for life. And it's not that we're letting go of control, because in a way we could argue we never had that control in the first place. The only thing we had was a sort of last check. Are we really going to do this or not? Are we gonna force this in or not? We were only thing we had was the middleman, which is just mind identification. That's totally fine. But I want to invite you to surrender more. I want to end with something I got from Tara Brach's Radical Acceptance book. It's a quote from a monk. I don't remember his name. I don't know if she did in the book. I think it was a Thai monk. And he said, surrender a little bit, you get a little bit of peace. Surrender a lot, you get a lot of peace. Surrender totally, and you get total peace. Much love. If you want help with this surrender, feel free to schedule a free call with me, and I can help you out. Much love. Bye.